Today, it's looking pretty good, pretty green all around. Bitcoin, crypto, U.S. markets, all in the green because Fed Chair Powell said some pretty positive things yesterday, including indicating there may not be any more hikes. You can see U.S. market looking very green, especially NASDAQ, almost plus 2%. And that's because whenever Wall Street feels like there's no more rate hikes, they're going to get very bullish, very tech and risk on heavy. That's just how their playbook is. Okay, so I think it's the start of something great. We've been held back for many months. You could argue over a year because Fed Chair Powell's been trying to get inflation back down, okay? By trying to make the economy more broke, make people more broke, because he feels like that's the only way to stop people from buying. And that's the only way to decrease inflation, decrease prices, right? But now that a lot of the inflationary pressures have kind of dissipated, for example, high energy costs, right? Supply chain issues, making goods very expensive. Those things have gone away. So now inflation is kind of like naturally coming down, okay? So with all the good economic data and inflation readings still showing that inflation is going down, well, that means he's starting to come to realization or come to conclusion that, okay, I don't have to see unemployment go up to 4.2%. I don't have to see the job market get decimated, right? And see some businesses fail in order to keep inflation in check, I guess, right? So to speak. So these are good things. That's why yesterday's meeting, I already covered it. It was very weird. The questions were really weird. But the one thing that was very bullish that I took out of yesterday's press conference is the fact that originally, before, it was planned for 2 more rate hikes, okay? Yesterday, he did not restate that. Yesterday, he said the next FOMC meeting, which is in 2 months, he's going to wait and see and look at all the economic data and then make a decision then. So he basically took this guarantee of 2 more rate hikes, took it away, and said, we'll wait and see, right? So that's a very dovish move, which is very bullish for markets, right? And very well be the last rate hike we see for a very long time until 2024, and we get a pivot when he starts cutting rates. And that's going to make it even more bullish in 2024 because you get rate hike, rate cuts, then you have Bitcoin spot ETF, then you have the halving event. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a trifecta of craziness, of bullishness, I should say, in 2024. This is crazy. Crazy alignment, right? But anyways, so, I think that's why today the, NASDAQ is doing fantastic. Bitcoin is up slightly, and then all of crypto is basically in the green today. So these are all fantastic things. I don't know, today's a lot of economic stuff. So yeah, going back to, Bitcoin stimulated by Fed's cooler than expected inflation data. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, that means Bitcoin is going to start doing better. That's how I take it. Why? Well, because of everything I just said. Money's flowing back in. Risk on assets. Wall Street loves them because they're tech. They're high growth. And Bitcoin and crypto are considered risk on assets by Wall Street. Okay. Now, me and many others believe that Bitcoin is the best store of value that we have, the best hedge against inflation we have, right? And it doesn't really correlate and shouldn't correlate with tech or with anything else because it's a category of its own. But that's not how Wall Street sees it. They still play it like it's some stock, okay? And that's their fault. Those that play it and trade it like stock, well, they're just going to be left behind while the true holders become billionaires, and many have already, right? But with the money flowing back in, with people less fearful about another rate hike, well, that's good all around. You're going to see money flowing into crypto. And it's already started. It already started. We're obviously in recovery mode. I would argue we're ready in the next bull run. And, like I said, in 2024 could be absolutely fantastic if you get rate cuts, and then you get the halving event coming up, and then you also get a spot Bitcoin ETF approved. That's the trifecta. But in the meantime, it might be boring. We haven't seen much movement recently. Volatility have pretty much disappeared. Okay? But if you look at, leading up to the halving event in 2016, kind of the same thing happened. If you zoom in, you realize, Bitcoin was kind of stuck at a certain point for a very, very, very long time before it started going up and becoming crazy, right? So kind of like how it is now. We had a few up and downs, but overall, we've been just kind of holding steady, not moving, right? But when it's ready, it will, and then that's when it's not going to stop, right? And that's possibly 2024. Okay, so for the remainder of this year, we'll probably slowly trend upwards, or maybe not. We just stay going sideways, right? Stay sideways, but still, I think we're going to see a slow recovery until the end of the year, and we're already heading into August. I can't believe that we're already more than half past this year. Seems like we just hit 2023, but yeah, we're more than halfway through the year, right? We're getting closer and closer to 24. And, all the metrics, on-chain metrics, technicals, fundamentals, everything is showing Bitcoin is in recovery and better days are coming. Here's a golden ratio multiplier, which, just showing this significance of this Fibonacci level that we're in, where Bitcoin is hitting 1.618. And you can see that Bitcoin previously used them as bottom points before it started recovering, and same thing right now, right? So this is all short term, but long term we know Bitcoin is going much, much, much higher. Rather than look at higher highs, let's look at higher lows. Okay, those that complained about 15,000, they probably didn't sit through the 3,000 periods, which I did many times. Many, many, many times. In fact, twice. Because even with the COVID crash, we hit 3,000 something. Okay, and that was only 2020. That wasn't even 2018, right? But I also lived through this, 2013 to 2015, when Bitcoin hit 152. Okay, that was when I got in. When Bitcoin first hit 1,000, I didn't quite understand what was going on. So as Bitcoin kept falling, I'm like, I need to get out of here, right? But those that stayed, that didn't get out and kept accumulating, well, they're much better for it, right? And same thing with people that got in when Bitcoin was at $2. But you could see, obviously, the highs are getting higher and higher and higher. And who knows, after this next cycle top, and we do come down, if we do come down at all, the next bottom could be 50,000 or 45, 50, 60,000. We don't know. And it wouldn't be unreasonable because look at the multiples between each cycle low. Right? So just keep that in mind. The next low could be 2x from where we are now.